Hello everybody, and welcome back to Fallout 3. So this is actually a video I am making after I have already recorded episode 7, because of the fact that there were some issues, and I lost the entire beginning of my Fallout 7 episode. Thankfully, the first 30 minutes was me just explaining how a mod works, so I can now cut that down to about, hopefully, just a few minutes and we'll be good, and you guys won't have to sit there for 30 minutes waiting for me to finish rambling. But anyways, let's get into it. So, in episode 7, this is a few days after episode 7, because I've had to record a bunch of other things and get a bunch of other stuff done. But in episode 7 and later, from here on out, I'm recording in a different setup. But this setup prevents me from using my laptop keyboard, because my laptop is supposed to be far away from my computer. Right now it's not, so you guys might be able to hear the fan, because I use a different setup for different games. But for Fallout, I'm using a different setup now, and that means I have to use a controller now. But there is a problem with this. You see, we have one mod that we all know of, which is the sprinting mod. I don't have it activated right now, but I don't have it set up. But what happens is that the sprinting mod, usually you have two versions. You have the Fallout script extender version, which allows you to use the running key to sprint instead of having to use an item or instead of having to do anything weird like that. It just replaces the sprint option, the original running option, which makes you walk like this, to actually sprint. So that's what the Fallout script extended version does. There is a problem with this though, however. When you're using a controller, there is no sprint button, since the game doesn't need you to. Because what happens is that the sprint button originally, or the running button, just toggles between running like this and walking like this. When you're using a controller, they have the analog stick, so they just assume that you never need a run button because you would just need to push the analog stick slightly to start walking instead of running. So, how do we fix this? How do we fix the fact that we don't have a run button? Well, the simple fact is there really isn't a way to fix it to have a run button, because there is no way to bind keys to the controllers. The controllers have their set bindings, and you can change those bindings within the menu, within the options menu, the settings, but you cannot add anything or remove anything that you wouldn't normally be able to have. So I cannot force my controller to be binded to the run key. So that causes, of course, an issue. Now there are usually two ways you can fix this. The first way is using a key mapper or something like that. I think that's what it's called, where you basically make your Xbox controller or PS4 controller or whatever, or whichever controllers you want, act as a keyboard. So basically you say that the analog up is the W key, analog down is the S key, analog left is the A key, analog right is the D key, things like that. You know, A would be the space bar to jump, and Y would probably be E to activate, or whatever buttons you want to do, right? By using one such as Joy2Key or Xpatter or things like that, you can use those. The problem is that those programs cost money, and I don't want to spend money for just one Let's Play, for just one game. If a lot of games or a lot of things I was doing required me to use my controller only, I would, but I don't need that, so I can't do that right now. So I didn't want to do that. So the only other option I have is to use the no FOSE version, the no Fallout script extender version, or basically because the sprint mod. Let's do a normal explanation here. The sprint mod, like I said, has two versions. It has a script extender, which replaces the run command with actual sprinting, and then there's the non-script extender version. Because this mod was made for both people with Fallout script extender and people without it. Basically, if you ended up not having script extender, you would have an item, and you would use that item to make yourself start sprinting. That way you wouldn't have to have any scripts installed or anything like that. You would just have to have the sprint mod alone, and it would work. There are a few issues that come with doing this, but it's the only way to make the controller work, because the controller can use hotkeys. The hotkeys you have to equip your items. So what he did is that he would allow you to equip the sprinting item to one of the hotkeys, and then use that for your controller. This works out surprisingly well, but The problem is if you have the mod installed with script extender, I had to make a few changes to make it work. So because of this, I'm going to now show you guys how you switch between the script extender version and the non-script extender version for if you guys want to do this, if you guys want to use the controller with the script extender on. So this is what you do. The first thing you want to do, of course, is make sure your keyboard and mouse controls are activated. You cannot go into the console if you're in controller controls. So once you have your keyboard and mouse activated, you press the button that's beside the 1, which I still don't know what the name of it is to this day, and you open up the console. Now, what you want to do is simply I'm going to make this a little bit clearer for you guys by putting it like in a little bit of a darker area. There we go. I'm going to put in this command specifically. Set sprint force no FOSE. So sprint, force it to be the non-Fallout script extender version, and you set it to 1 for yes, we want to force it to be non-script extender. 0 will be to turn it off for no. So yes, and so now we are now in the non-FOSE version. So now if I had the sprinting button binded, it's not going to be binded when you're going to be walking. Instead, you have to go into your inventory and find the sprint hotkey. And if you activate this in the menu, it does give you all these different settings you can do, but I'm not going to mess with that. What I'm going to do is I want to bind it. So if you bind it, which I will do by pressing it, like let's say 5 here, I press 5 and I start sprinting. See? If I press 5 again, I stop sprinting. And that's what you have to do. So now, if I switch to my settings, gameplay. Oh no. Where's my controller support? Here. Because my controller's not plugged in? Oh, it's because my controller's not plugged in. Give me a second, guys. Alright, so we are back. So I just had to unplug my mouse real quick. I'm just using my mouse pad right now. You go into controls, and if you have a controller plugged in, you should see this 360 controller. If you have a program that converts your PlayStation controllers to Xbox 360 controllers, that should work just as well. You put it on, your controller turns on. There you go. So now I can move. Like I said, you don't have a sprint hotkey, and as far as we know so far, there's no way to bind a controller to a sprint hotkey. So what I have to do here is just equip this to number 5. And now whenever I use it, I can start sprinting. It's not 100% fluid, it's not 100% perfect, I get that, but it's the only option we've got, and the modder was nice enough to, you know, allow us to do this in the first place so that we can use the sprint in the first place. At the end of the day, when the sprint is equipped this way, it's usually used more just to get around quicker than to actually like fight with. Like rarely you'll see me have my weapons out, press the button and start firing like that, you know. Like you don't see that happen often, trust me. But to be honest though, I now that I have the Chinese stealth armor, I don't usually sprint around anyways. But that's just what it is. It just helps me get around places like this, like Tenpenny Tower, quicker. So yeah. So anyways, that's just how you switch between the two, and that's just to explain to you guys that you can use the sprint with a controller. It just needs a little bit more tweaking to do. And just to show you guys, just to explain to you guys that I've changed my setup around so you guys shouldn't hear the fan as much. You won't hear it right now because of the fact that my setup is different because it's been a few days. I'm just recording this a few days later after recording a bunch of sessions. And my setup is set up differently right now because I'm playing a different game that could not use controllers. But when I am using a controller like in a game like this, my setup is different, so you guys should not hear my fan as much as you did before. You should at least be able to hear me over my fans now, which hopefully that's what happens. But anyways, I'm gonna go back now and start the actual video. Hopefully you guys understand all this, and hopefully this was clear enough. I'm just trying to be quick enough so that the video doesn't end up being an hour long. And yeah, enjoy the video. So yeah. So I'm gonna have to sell the stuff I picked up though over here. I picked up a lot of stuff, if I'm correct, right? Don't I have like a lot of alcohol? Yeah, I do. Okay. So I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna try waiting out the time here. I did change up some of my key bindings a bit so that I have a little bit more of a typical FPS experience, but you know, who knows? What am I doing? I have to wait for like a really long time, don't I? I'll see you guys when I'm done waiting. Alright, so I'm back. So I waited a while, waited for him to get his cats back, and then I immediately proceeded to sell him basically everything I stole from this place last time, except for this whiskey, these wines, the yagai meat, and the sugar bomb, because to this day I still can't remember what those guys in the cellar, in the sewers wanted. If it was either cherry bombs or sugar bombs, I can't remember for sure. But alas, we'll never know for sure. Not until I go back there and try to check on him again. So, yeah, so let's go disappear again, because, you know, that's always fun. Nobody can see me anymore.
Mr. Wellington, are you there?
Sorry, dear. Must have dozed off there for a moment.
Sometimes I get the feeling I'm talking to myself.
Amy? Credo, you need his password to get into whatever safe he has, right? You need his key. Also, I noticed that while I was going through my inventory, I have a Nikola Tesla and you, and I have comprehension now, which means now I get 2 points in energy weapons, which is nice, you know, it's really nice. Let's steal it. That'd be funny. Anyways, what do I want to do today? Now that I'm done doing whatever I can. Stop sprinting for a second. Look at my quests here. I guess I might as well do Galaxy News Radios and see how this goes. I'll go sleep real quick so I can get all my health back.
Good to see you. Edgar. Dear.
Does it go to the penthouse?
Why does Mr. Chang insist on calling everyone?
It says A, but I set it to Y, and it keeps confusing me. That's why I keep jumping, because I set A to jump and Y to activate or whatever, while the normal default controls is opposite. A is to activate things and Y is to jump, because that makes sense.
You've been wounded, madam. May I suggest you seek medical attention as soon as possible?
No deed. This is all the medical attention I need. This bed. 1 hour of sleep, and bam.
Welcome home, madam.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Good evening, madam. What can I do for you?
Good question.
I hope. A neutron walks into a bar. How much for a drink here, anyway? To which the bartender responds, for you, no charge.
That is clever. I like that. That makes me smile. Alright. 10-penny tower. Outside? Or is it inside somewhere else that I'm not aware of? Hopefully you guys can hear me. I really hope so. This is a completely new setup and I have no idea how well it's going to turn out. Also, just so you guys know, I'm recording really late at night. Like, very late compared to what I normally do. What are you sniping at?
Hi-ho!
Please don't point that at me.
I complained offhand one day about how I thought that heap of metal on the horizon was a bit of an eyesore. Mr. Burke offered to take care of it. Burke is such an agreeable man, isn't he? I don't know how I got along without him. I practically don't have to think about things anymore. He takes care of everything. I seldom even have to ask. He's a real go-getter, that one. We need more men like him if we're going to rebuild the world. Well said, indeed. You've got the entrepreneurial spirit. It gives me hope to see young people such as yourself with real heads on their shoulders.
I have to say, this is a really funny way.
Why, anything I want, dear girl. Anything I want. Wasteland safari, very relaxing.
Mm-hmm.
Righto, run along now.
What about you, Mr. Burke?
It was a wonderful thing you did. Inspirational. Truly. Yes, friend?
Nope, apparently not. Apparently there's nothing else to do with you. He just looks around and just snipes whatever he wants, huh? Good for him. Also, you're still here.
Was there something else?
Yeah, sure. I need to alert. If this guy's gonna pay me to get this robot, then yeah, he needs to be. I need to tell him that this robot android guy exists. Hey man, I'd sell out a normal person for slavery. I'll sell out a robot, alright? And yes, I know perfectly well what they are, but my character doesn't know what they are in this. We're not supposed to know what they are exactly. Not until Fallout 4 came out that we know what they are, but still. You
Hello,
open the door.
dear. What's up? Kill any more zombies lately?
Do it myself then. So yeah, I'm on my way to do the whole Galaxy News radio mission now. Let me reset my key bindings real quick here, actually. Items, weapons. Okay. So obviously, 10mm shotgun, submachine gun can go here. I have like no ammo. Oh, I need to buy some ammo. Shit. Okay. I will do that. Combat shotgun can go here. Can I equip a broken item? This rifle will go there then. Rifle setup? Yeah, it is. Hunting rifle can go here because it's good. Laser rifle down here. The rifle's pretty freaking strong. Laser rifle is about just as strong, just it needs to have the freaking condition brought up. Minigun at the bottom. And Ripper down there. Do sniper rifle when I get the chance and combat shotgun after, but for now that it works. Let me buy some ammo real quick. Just realized I kind of need it. Alright, and moving on. Light. Sprint. Now I can't quick save anymore, which means I'm going to have to be manually saving this entire time. Great. What the hell is that over there? Unless it's just like a dust effect. Anyways, oh yeah. Weapons. So I have my 10mm. That. This beauty. You. Don't you use microfusion cells as well? Which means that I'll probably never use the freaking laser rifle if I'm just gonna be able to use my Gauss rifle. So MF cells. Yeah, it does. Freaking hell, I'm gonna use the Gauss rifle. You see how much damage the Gauss rifle does compared? 28 compared to freaking 11. Yeah, no. And Gauss rifle has a chance of knocking enemies down, which is even better. Minigun and my Ripper. Ripper beauty. Okay, so now I'm gonna be moving to we're gonna find out once and for all if it was the Mart Mutant Mod killing me or if it was just there's supposed to be that many guys. I'm already in caution. Couple units around, but I don't see the sheer amount that I used to see before. Oh, wrong button. But now I also have the stealth armor, which means I could sneak by most of these guys if I'm lucky. One there. Two more there. We don't have 8 guys to worry about, which is great. 4 of them, from what I can see. It's still a pretty big number of them. Try to avoid that if possible. Here. Anyway, let's go backwards. Yeah. Can someone please fix the planetarium projecting system? The automated system that was just installed is prone to malfunctions at least once a week. I've had to interrupt the program more times than I care to remember and end up taking over manually. I suggest we remove the system and bring back the human elements so the audience will feel more engaged. I'd like to lodge a formal complaint regarding the firearms exhibition that's planned for temporary display in the large room. With the world tensions the way they are right now, I feel it's highly inappropriate to glorify these killing devices by promoting them as a tourist attraction. This is some sort of patriotic gesture that is entirely lost upon me, and I urge you to rethink this decision. BenWah Research Lead. This is just a quick rundown of acquisitions we have been awarded for 2078. If any of these interest you, please stop by and see me so we can discuss it or submit a standard research request before the cutoff date. All submissions must be made by October 2nd, 2077. So now is the time to get them in. Supersonic airliner, Zach's computer prototype, original model T-45D power armor suit. Ooh, D, that's a highly upgraded one. Laser pistol prototype. Research related. Alright. Our new addition to the space flight gallery, the Virgo 2 lunar lander, is now open to the general public and ready for viewing. I want to extend a hearty thank you and job well done to the entire research and restoration team for pulling that pile of junk out of muffballs and putting it in such fine shape. Many sleepless nights were spent on this project, and as a small token of our thanks, you will find a substantial bonus in your next paycheck. Give each other a pat on the back. You've earned it. Ah, this guy's a nice guy. Virus that has been plaguing our archetype model FF6 mainframe due to an unknown attack has finally been localized by our research team and identified. After a complete cleanup on the mainframe's core, I am happy to announce that the infection has been removed. The soul of this machine has improved. See, that's what you need to do as a business, not just say, oh, you're employee of the month, or thank you. They gave him a freaking bonus because they worked hard on helping them out, which is good. Stupid shit. Stealth Boy, take that. This is the Robco Stealth Boy Model 3001, personal stealth device. Developed by Robert May Flower, the Stealth Boy generates a modulating field that transmits the reflected light from one side of an object to the other, making the bearer almost invisible to the untrained eye. Cool. Now, what is my stealth at? I want to see how far I can get away with stuff here. My sneak is 60 plus right now. It's not high. Is not high at all. It's good, but it isn't as high as I'd want it to be. I can't get right beside people that are enemies because they'll hear me. I don't know what to do to increase it. I remember last time I had it increased to like all the way to 90, I think. Maybe I just misread wrong. Here. Full on stealth. Now my stealth stash should be maxed out, right? You know, there you go. There you go. See, yeah. Plus the stealth field that I have, it's kind of ridiculous. Let's get up there, I think. You can buy these jerks. Oh no. Let's say 60 plus, which meant that I think it was being... These guys have ridiculously high senses. I can't hit these floaters because their freaking hitboxes are really messed up. Crying out loud, switch weapons. Still way too many of these guys. Okay, I'm leaving. I can't fight that. I cannot fight that. Even with a stealth boy, even with my sneak at its current level, maxed out, I was still spotted. Does anybody know? Because if anybody watches Many a True Nerd, then they'll know that he uses stealth to his advantage at like ridiculous amounts. Like it's stupid how much he does it. He manages to sneak like literally right beside certain enemies, and they never find out. Like he goes right beside them. They're never the wiser. They never realize that he's sneaking right beside them. But like I was just wondering, like, does anybody know how? Oh then shit. Really wish you didn't get stuck reloading your weapon though. like he sneaks like literally beside enemies, like right beside them, and he doesn't get spotted. So I don't know how he does it. I really don't. Even with his armor, like nothing ever sees him. So I don't know if it's because he just if like increasing your stealth naturally, like through the normal leveling system, makes it better than what items would do. But it's really confusing. And throws me right off. Every time. Hunting rifle. I mean, Gauss rifle is my best weapon, to be perfectly honest, but the laser rifle will shoot faster, so. See, like, they don't see me whatsoever. The moment I move, they start seeing me. How much health does this thing have? Oh boy. One thing I think the Mart Mutant Mod could use is a little bit less freaking focus on goddamn just giving enemies a shit ton of health. This is ridiculous. I'm shooting through him. I don't know. I don't know how to deal with this. I really don't. Because I think it's the freaking floaters. The floaters have like a stupidly high perception. Because this abominable guy's not seeing me at all when I move. Freaking floaters that can see me. Oh, maybe how fast you move does make a difference, actually. Stop. 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 I hate these floaters so much. They are the reason why I can't get through this area. If it wasn't for them, I'd be able to sneak by these guys. Okay, I see what I did there. Can't target the abominable guy for some reason. Look at how much health they have. Miss. Freaking hell. Okay, one moment, guys. I have to like look some stuff up because I feel like I am really underpowered compared to what I usually am.